and welcome to a special program of Cricket Predictor brought to you by 1xBet for making infrastructures, Delhi NCR, and we also have the legends of the West Indies team at the WIC. Well, let's start the IPL match of 66 from Jaipur. Samir Rizvi, yes, take a bow. His brilliant 50 led Delhi Capitals to a thrilling 6-wicket win over Punjab Kings. Batting first, Punjab put a total of 206 for 6, which was very competitive. Considering that the few matches in the past have gone a little slow, but Punjab was up to the mark. Powered by a classy half-century by Shreyas Iyer. Of course, he's been leading from the front, and he's the same skipper who's won for KKR in the previous edition. In reply, Delhi chased it down in 19.3 overs, finishing for 208 for 4. Rizvi holding on his nerves till the end. Brar took 2 wickets for Punjab, while Jensen and Praveen Dubey picked 1 wicket each. The win marks the end of Delhi's season. They finished strong. Punjab, meanwhile, stay second with 17 points, but their top 2 hopes take a hit. They now face Mumbai Indians tomorrow. It's a must-win situation for them. Points table to check. GT leads with 18 points. RCB and Mumbai sit pretty at 17 and 16. Delhi moves on to the 5th position. Now on to today's match. It's KKR versus SRH at the Arun Jaitley Stadium at Delhi. A replay of last year's final where KKR crushed SRH to lift the title. Well, this time though, both teams are out of the playoffs. It's battle of pride and the 6th spot. SRH will feature confident after beating RCB by 42 runs in the previous encounter, and that's what it's supposed to be. Well, joining me are 4 of the important guests, some who've played the game, the others who've been the selectors, and the other. Well, joining me is Stanley Chuza. Remember, Stanley is the Zimbabwean former player and also the current coach who's currently residing in Dubai. Stanley, welcome to the show. KKR has the highest dot ball, 39.49, and the worst middle order run rate at 7.72. Yes. Can their power play and death over dominance compensate for a weak middle over phase? Your views?
It's not always the case, even though that your middle overs are not doing well. It's not always the case that at the top order in the power play and then obviously back in the back end can compensate for that poor middle order show. If at all, what it does, it actually puts pressure on the batsmen at the top of the order, because what they then have to do is they have to go hard from ball 1. They can't pace out an inning, so there's no time to have a look at the conditions, as it were. You pretty much have to score. If it's not about scoring, then it means that the players at the top play within themselves. When you play within yourselves, you're trying to bat longer and deeper into the innings. So what that does, it puts you in somewhat of a conundrum in how do we go about things. Do we go hard? Do we bat? Do we try and play a reserved innings and try and play the long game? So therein is the pressure that it puts, because you're worried, you're concerned about that middle order. The middle order for KKR has not been good this season. Venkatesh, Ramandeep have had very poor seasons. You look at the likes of the Russell Muscle, Dre Russ, and obviously Rinku. They've blossomed quite late into the season. So there hasn't been a collective effort in that middle period. Pretty much, even if you look at the top as well, with regards to KKR, they've also struggled. They've had their issues there. They've had to make a couple of tactical changes in terms of personnel. We saw Quinton de Kock having a stellar start, and then he fizzled out, and then we came in Gugas. So with that alone, and then you compile that with what's happened in the middle, it's very, very difficult to have a consistent season. It's very difficult to then consistently put runs on the board. The middle period is the period where many a T20 match, and I always say this, many a T20 match is won and lost in that middle period. And KKR know this is the one area that they've got it wrong. Every now and then, pretty much that glue, that anchor kind of role has had to be done by Ajinkya Rahane. He's done it very well, but those that are around him have not been able to support him, and hence the names such as Ramandeep, like I mentioned earlier, and Venkatesh. These guys needed to step up and obviously be the sort of players that help and bat around Ajinkya Rahane, and that did not happen. So that then really puts pressure. That middle order failure has really put pressure on the 2 other phases of the batting game.
Well, Stanley, let's move on to the second question, and it's very pointed towards the SRH, who leads the league in the batting versus spin, 9.98. How should KKR, who have the best spin economy, deploy Varun Chakravarti against Abhishek Sharma and Klassen? Your views.
I suppose the one factor that works well for KKR is the fact that they have two fantastic spinners inside their camp. You've got Sunil Narine and obviously Varun Chakravarti, two spinners who have been doing very well for KKR this season and obviously seasons prior. However, with regards to playing SRH, when you do look at that SRH, they've got a couple of left-hand batters up the order. Obviously, Abhishek Sharma, you've got Ishan Kishan, who's just come in from a magnificent innings, and then Sachin Baby. But with regards to tactics, you would obviously, I'm expecting to see KKR deploy I beg your pardon, deploy Sunil Narine up and early. Even a couple of overs in the power play would not be a bad ploy against the left-handers. And then obviously in that middle period, should there be early breakthroughs up the order, Varun Chakravarti will be bowling a lot more to those right-handers. But if it so happens that there's a left and right-hand combination, I would not be surprised to see these guys bowling in tandem. I mean, they've been doing well for KKR this season, and they are in fantastic form. So it only makes sense that they take and bowl the bulk of their overs in that middle period. But it would be nice just to see someone like a Sunil Narine obviously getting a 1 over inside the power play, and then keep the majority of his overs and then bowl in tandem with Varun Chakravarti. So they've got a fantastic understanding of how to go about their things, the way they bowl their overs through, the way they get their overs moving, and obviously the fact that they're playing at the Arun Jaitley Stadium as a venue that has something to offer with regards to spin. I think they will really enjoy bowling at this facility and at this venue.
Well, before I let you go, Stanley, this is the third question to you. SRH bowling unit leaks and the second most runs at the death. At 11.65, and it has been poor dot ball at 32%. With Andre and Rinku in form, do you think KKR could seal the game? Your views.
One thing is certain that their death bowling, SRH, has not been good. But up and above that, if you look at the holistic picture, their bowling has not been doing very well as a whole. So pretty much the stats shows obviously their death bowling, but up and above that, when you look at the top and you look at the middle order, they haven't really been able to strangle it and strangle the run rate, and then also be taking wickets consistently. And when you look at their firepower, the areas of the death, these are where your seam bowlers are expected to do a lot of job, and their seamers have also been struggling. So when you're playing a team like KKR, you know they've not had the best of starts. You know their middle order is not doing exactly well. You want to try and capitalize in those areas such that by the time you get to bowl your death, where you know you're not doing well, you have some sort of a cushion. You get early wickets, you restrict runs inside the power play, you come into the middle order. When that field is nice and spread, you further reduce the boundary count, pressure in with a lot more dot balls. Then by the time the 16th over begins, 17 into the 20th, yes, even when if you're going to have some runs scored against you, you know you're going to still limit the damage to a respectable total. That's how they've got to look at it, because at the end of the day, it's difficult to all of a sudden get your death bowling right when it has been struggling all season. So that's how they have to look at it. Look at it from the top in terms of that first power play. Then you take advantage of that struggling middle order, and then obviously make sure that the likes of Rinku and Dreras then don't get the opportunity to go big. Should they get an opportunity to go big, it is such that the damage has been done up the order already. So whatever they get, should they even go at 10s, it still pretty much restricts them to what could be a par score and below. So that's the way to look at it, because at the end of the day, it's very difficult to come up with changes, over just in the space of a game. Some changes may require the change in personnel, and being the season is nearly over, you just have to work with what you've got.
Well, with this, we now welcome Noel David, the former Indian off spinner who's now currently coaching the Assam team at the junior level, but he's got a keen eye on what's happening in the points table tally and also at the batting bowling dominance. Noel, welcome to the show. Abhishek Sharma, look at some stats. Some batters are very good at the opening batting. Some batters are very good with the spin, some in a different format of the game at different stages. But Abhishek Sharma has 405 runs with a strike rate of 197. Well, that's completely destroying the bowling attack. But when we look at the spin, he's got a strike rate of 265. Is he, in your eyes, SRH's most destructive batters in the lineup today?
Of course, Sunil, no doubt in anyone's mind, Abhishek Sharma is one of the most destructive and dangerous batsmen when he's in full song. He's got 405 runs this season with 197.66 as his strike rate. Whether it's fast bowlers or whether spinners, he handles them very well. Whether power play, middle overs or the death overs, he plays the same way, the way he plays the first ball. Always in an attacking mood. He takes on the bowlers, he takes on the spinners. He's got various shots under his belt. I love the shot which he plays over the mid wicket, especially, and the flick for the fast bowlers, and for the spinners when he hits them straight down the ground. He has class. I think he molds himself a bit like his guru Yuvraj Singh. I feel that because I can see some glimpses the way he bats, of like Yuvraj Singh. So I hope SRH is so lucky and fortunate to have such a player in the side, because he can bowl. He's a very good fielder in the inner circle and at the boundary line. He contributes 100% to the team. He gives all what he has as a player, and that's why we all rate him as one of the most dangerous guy in the circuit of T20.
Well, let's also talk about KKR and look at Andre Russell. His strike rate at the death is 238 and Rinku Singh is at 232. Yes, and they're one of the most scary finishers of the game. Can KKR build their innings around and save them from over 16 to 20? Just imagine if one of these two stay back, how it's going to be. It's like mayhem. Your views?
KKR are very fortunate, very, very fortunate to have players like Andre Russell and Rinku Singh in the side. Why is because when it comes to the later part of the inning, especially from the 16 to the 20th over, when these two batsmen go into bat, they can destroy any bowling attack because it's a free hand given to them. And we all know what Andre Russell does to any bowler when he's in full swing. The way he hits the white ball really very hard. He has proven it in so many occasions in this IPL seasons over, and I think bowlers do fear a bit when it comes to Andre Russell. And if I talk about Rinku Singh, it's the same case. He may be not so powerful, but his timing is so great, especially when I love to see him, play that shots which he plays over covers for the fast bowlers. He's such a class and he has that grace when he hits it, and especially and even the spinners. He has the reverse sweep shot. He has everything, and he uses that for 16 to the 20th over very well. He calculates and he plays, and he builds that momentum for KKR in that last overs. So I feel that these two gentlemen, if they get going, they are very dangerous in that death overs. So bowlers are sure to be careful when these two gentlemen bat during that phase of the innings.
Noel, Ishan Kishan and Klassen both strike rate at over 220 at the death. If SRH loses their wicket, can the lower order come in and rescue? We've seen the glory days of pinch hitters. Do you think it's still the case? Your views?
Of course, Sunil, this is the saddest part of the SRH exit of this IPL. I think the batting from the low order, there was no contribution at all. You take Nitish Kumar Reddy, you take Abhinav, or you take Aniket. And the way Aniket started, we all expected, he will be a boon to the SRH, especially in the low order, but not at all. He also started to fail, later on. But Nitish Kumar Reddy was they had an high expectation out of him after the successful tour of Australia. We all thought that you'll be getting a lot of runs for SRH the way he has contributed last year. But Abhinav, I'm sorry to say, he was a total failure, and there was no contribution from his bat at all. And that is where SRH found it very difficult even to post 200 or even to chase 170. It was so difficult for him because they all depended on the top order to always to perform. And whenever this four gentlemen failed, Abhishek or Travers or Ishan or Carlson, then there was no this thing at all from the lower orders. They couldn't sustain that pressure, at all. So I feel that this was the exit for SRH from this IPL. If they had a strong batting lineup till the down, especially the middle order, I think it would have been a different factor. But unfortunately, they have to exit. But hopefully they come back next year, rebuilding their side again from zero. Whether it's their batting, bowling, I think they have to rebuild it again.
Thank you, Noel. Yes. We're now joined by another off spinner, former Indian cricketer Sharandeep Singh, who was also the national selector, and recently he's joined as the coach of the Delhi Ranji team. Yes. Sharandeep, welcome to the show. Ajinkya Rahane's power play is at 179, but it drops at 111. Of course, Ajinkya Rahane has had a very checkered past in the IPL and also in this current edition. What do you think? Should he change his role gears or the team should shield him from a spin-heavy segment? Your views?
No, I don't think so that Ajinkya Rahane has to be change his role because he's the only one who's getting runs for KKR and he's playing beautifully. Somehow, if we go, he's not a big hitter, so no need to send him in the middle orders. Let him play at number 3 and play his natural game the way he's playing. That's the only good thing for KKR. But the other batters also has to take some responsibility that they can chip in and help Ajinkya Rahane. Because if only Ajinkya Rahane taking all the pressure, then things will be difficult for the others also. Because if he's not scoring run, then other is also not performing and team is not looking good this season. So hopefully today in the last game, so they can bat well. They can score big runs, put a big total on the scoreboard.
Thank you, Sharandeep. Now let's moving on to our second question. Varun Chakravarti has 14 wickets and the best death economy at 5.3. Yes, death economy, bowling at the end, 5.33 runs on average. Should KKR risk him holding him back in a 17 to 20th overs instead of a traditionally more middle over game? Your views on this?
Look, Varun Chakravarti is a kind of bowler who can get wickets for you in the middle order overs. He's the not one who bowls at the 18, 19 or 20 overs. Or sometimes it's difficult for the spinners to bowl last overs. And the kind of bowler he is, if he get more overs, if he get more opportunity to bowl in 10 to 12, 15, 16 overs, finishing his quota till 6 from 16 overs, he'll be very, very effectful and he getting wickets also. So don't change his bowling strategies. Just give him a ball because he's a senior pro and let's go inside and get wickets for the team. This is the only thing he can do it for you.
Well, Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora have been quite the leakers. Yes, they leak the runs at a fast pace, over 10 runs and over. Is KKR's pace attack too inconsistent to defend their totals, considering that they have gone through a tough battle and the defending champions have lost the plot in more than 3 occasions in this edition of IPL? Your views?
Yes, definitely. Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora is not looking good this season. Especially Vaibhav Arora, he don't have any own pace also, so that's why it's very easy for him to go for a runs. And not only Varun support, even if we talk about Sunil Narayan, even he's not getting wickets for them this season. That's why the bowling is looking very, very weak. Fast bowler looks very weak also, especially in the death overs. They concede a lot of runs over there also. So if they have to do it well, fast bowler has to be get wicket with the new ball, and Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti has to be chips in with the wickets in the middle over. Only then you can control the game. So hopefully, I can see that in the last game they can perform well and they can put big pressure on SRH, who's doing really well, whose batting lineup is phenomenal. They're all the power hitters. So let's hope for the good game tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharandeep. We are now joined by CM Gautam. Of course, you must remember CM Gautam has played for Mumbai Indians and has shared the IPL dugout on more than one occasions for various teams. And he now plays for Bank of Baroda and he's an avid golfer. CM, welcome to the show. Pat Cummins has an economy rate of 8.92. Is SRH most reliable bowler? How should he be used early on against the Narayan and the Gurbaz, who are swashbuckling? No matter what the attack is, they just go for the lathi charge, as we call it. Your views?
Hi Sunil, thanks for having me back on the show. Yeah, I think Pat Cummins has bowled reasonably well for SRH this year, and his economy is just under 9. I think he bowled well in patches, especially when SRH bowlers were going for runs, and he didn't get enough support from Mohammed Shami and Harshal Patel in few games. So those were the times where he came and bowled exceedingly well, and he picked up some crucial wickets in the middle overs as well. So yeah, I think he's been an exceptional leader. We all know, like, he's a World Cup winning captain, and his captaincy has been like one of the best in the entire IPL. Unfortunately, they didn't do well in this year's IPL. I think they'll bounce back next year. Just that they have to look at their bowling lineup. You can't have too many experience or too many variation bowlers in the lineup. You need to have the bowlers who's clocking at 140. At the same time, you need to have bowlers who can swing the ball at the either side. So I think you need to have those variations or variety in your fast bowling department. So I think SRH will do their homework and come back strong in next year's IPL.
Well, the show is called Cricket Predicta, and we are talking about the statistics. Yes, Moin Ali and Ramandeep have been underwhelming. Yes, they performed very badly in this editions of IPL. Their strike rate is not more than 35 and 66. Just imagine playing at that level and you're scoring 35 and 66. Should KKR bring in someone like Manish Pandey or promote Angarish Raghuvanshi instead? Your views?
Yeah, since Moin Ali has been ruled out of the tournament, I think other batsmen should take that role and play that floater in the first few overs. And at the same time, Ambrish has batted exceptionally well. I think KKR should give him that long rope at number 3, and he's an exciting prospect and one to look in the future as well. And when it comes to Manish Pandey, his strike rate has not been that great, let's be honest. He always plays with a strike rate of 100, 110 with so much of experience. So I think that's been their story, in this year's IPL. They're not, their middle order batsmen have not been clicking. So they're not able to post those big totals. So that's where KKR have gone wrong. They're not able to consistently get those 200s, and at the same time, there are too many chopping and changes at the top order. And Venkatesh Iyer as well, even he's not done that well in this year's IPL. And yeah, Ramandeep also didn't get too many opportunities, to be honest with you. In a T20 game, you need to give at least 4 to 5 innings in the middle overs, because playing in the middle overs is not that easy, where you have to come straight away and consolidate, And at the same time, Angrish has batted really well. I think they have to give him that number 3 spot for a long time. So I think they have to make these changes. I don't see any wrong with their bowling lineup, especially in the spin department with Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti. So yeah, the batting has been their problem. I think they have to look into that.
CM, before I let you go, let me ask my third and the final question of the day. Is Mohammed Shami's death, which is 27, the worst possible economy over in the end? I mean, is that the reason why he lost his place? That's a different question. Should SRH risk playing him in a must-win game today or explore other bowling options? Do you think his time is up, and its curtains for Mohammed Shami.
Yeah, Shami has been a big letdown in this year's IPL. That's one of the reasons SRH couldn't pick up those early wickets in the park play. So we all know over the years, Shami has been exceptionally well with the new ball picking up those crucial wickets. And coming back from the injury, it's not that easy for a fast bowler. So yeah, he's probably his economy is not that great. But at the same time, you can't depend on one particular bowler. You need to have those bowlers who can come in and deliver at the same time. So yeah, I think SRH will find some new bowlers going into this mini auction, and that's been their problem, to be honest with you. Arshel also has not bowled well, so Pat Cummins bowled well in the patches. Um, so Shami has been a big letdown, and we all know that his low in confidence is not got picked for the England series. So that's playing in his mind as well. So yeah, we have to wait and watch what are the changes SRH will do in today's game and going forward in the mini auction.
Well, there you had it. You had four of the best voices of the game in a show called Cricket Predicta. We're back again at the same time every day for the next 10 days. We're going to be just talking about the very close statistics, the drama, the data, and everything that surrounds the IPL. This is Sunil Yashkalra signing off from the Marbella Resorts in Sharjah and talking about the Cricket Predicta, requesting you not to change the channel. Don't go anywhere else. We'll be back after a short commercial break.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.